An all-new Wednesday begins with the ghostly unsolved mysteries. You'll hear authentic recordings of the unknown and see places of unexplained hauntings. You may help uncover a mystery. Then it's two spectacular premieres, beginning with a special night court. Is Dan really dead? Or is it his greatest snow job ever?
What did I do to deserve this?
It's a one-hour season premiere. Then the premiere of the most romantic, revealing, unpredictable hero.
Tried to have me killed.
Did you know that in 1988, NBC aired a fancy Manhattan restaurant drama, then desperately tried to save it by rebooting the exact same show as a sitcom? Or that ABC gave us Superboy, a series so shaky that producers fired the lead actor after just one season? And what about CBS, where a heartfelt drama called Almost Grown earned critical praise, yet still vanished in just a few months? These weren't small experiments tucked away on cable. These were big network bets, launched in prime time, backed by famous names and real budgets. And still, one after another, they collapsed. Today, we're digging into 5 more of 1988's most spectacular television flops. Shows that tried to soar, only to stumble right out of the gate. Welcome back to Time Capsule Media. And before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment so more TV fans can join us.
I'll blow the grill to bits. Now freeze.
Freeze. Good idea.
Superboy. At number 5 on our list, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Superboy. In 1988, producers thought they had struck gold by giving Superman fans exactly what they wanted. A show about Clark Kent's younger years. Instead of following the Man of Steel at the peak of his powers, Superboy would explore his college days, figuring out life, love, and of course, laser vision. On paper, it sounded promising. In practice, Season 1 was a mess. John Hames Newton starred as the young hero, but his performance never soared. Critics called him wooden, the writing was flatter than the Kansas prairie, and the special effects looked more Halloween store than Hollywood. One fan reportedly quipped, "This Superboy needs super help," a line that haunted the show's debut season.
Superboy, my old friend.
You and I were never friends.
Except when you needed something from.
The backlash was so intense that producers made a drastic move. After just one season, Newton was replaced by Gerard Christopher, scripts were tightened up, and the effects received a slight upgrade. Against all odds, the show improved and actually managed to survive for 4 seasons. But make no mistake, the first year of Superboy was a spectacular crash landing. Instead of launching a new era for Superman on TV, Season 1 left audiences shaking their heads. In 1988, even Krypton's greatest hero couldn't escape the curse of a rocky debut.
Then, and now, some things never change. Almost Grown premieres Sunday on CBS.
2. Almost Grown. At number 4, we find Almost Grown, a show that wasn't silly or sloppy. It was simply out of step with its time. Premiering on CBS in November of 1988, the series dared to be different. Instead of chasing cops, lawyers, or cheap laughs, it set out to tell an ambitious story about one couple's relationship as it unfolded over decades. Each week, the show blended drama, humor, and nostalgia, shifting between past and present like a living scrapbook.
No, I'll talk with her. I think it has to do with.
Critics appreciated the effort. They praised its emotional depth, its willingness to take risks, and its quiet, thoughtful tone. But viewers tuning in on a weeknight in 1988 didn't want quiet. They wanted energy, sitcom punchlines, courtroom battles, or explosions. And CBS didn't help matters by placing Almost Grown directly against more action-packed competition.
What the hell are you doing here? You promised me. Why should it be necessary for me to point out to my ex-husband that it just isn't
Bob
right?
invited us.
The result? Ratings that never took off. Despite strong performances from Tim Daly and Eve Gordon, the show lasted only a few months before CBS pulled the plug. Looking back now, it's easy to imagine Almost Grown thriving on today's streaming platforms, where audiences actively seek out slow-burn, character-driven stories. But in 1988, when attention spans were tuned to faster, flashier television, Almost Grown was quietly swept away.
Sometimes have to change your point of view, or what you think about some things, or even things you thought you knew, but then to your...
Raising Miranda. At number 3 is Raising Miranda, one of those shows that vanished so quickly.
Let's order up. Green peas.
Most people didn't even realize it existed. CBS launched it in late 1988 as a family sitcom with a gentle, heartfelt premise. James Naughton played Donald Marshak, a widowed contractor in small-town Wisconsin, suddenly left to raise his teenage daughter Miranda after the death of his wife. It had all the ingredients to be touching.
She was the one who got me to play the flute. And when I complained that the band was drowning me...
Single fatherhood, Midwestern charm, and the kind of setup that worked for hits like Full House. But where Full House found warmth and humor, Raising Miranda felt stuck in between. One episode leaned toward family drama, another tried light sitcom humor, and neither approach fully clicked.
Hey! Bob, my man! What? Oh, hey! Hi. Oh, right. What, you just got back from, Montana, yeah.
The tone was uneven, the jokes soft, and the storylines predictable. Even a solid lead like Naughton couldn't elevate the material, and the supporting cast struggled to bring much spark. Ratings were weak from the start, and CBS didn't give it long to improve. By New Year's Eve of 1988, the show was already gone. No reruns, no syndication, no home video. Raising Miranda simply disappeared. Today, it survives only as a footnote in TV history, a reminder that good intentions alone can't save a show without a clear identity.
With millions of unemployed and beggars you can't...
The Thorns sliding in at number 2 is The Thorns, ABC's attempt to put a sophisticated spin on the family sitcom. Instead of warm suburban charm,
didn't tell her, but there it was, the exact wallpaper her decorator hung in her bathroom in the ladies' room at LaGuardia.
This one took place in a Manhattan penthouse with a family that was anything but cuddly. Tony Roberts played Sloane, a smug advertising executive, while Kelly Bishop, long before she became Emily Gilmore on Gilmore Girls, played Rose, his sharp-tongued museum curator wife. Their kids were quirky, their maid was sarcastic, and their doorman was nosy. On paper, it had the makings of clever satire.
That was a great French exit, with a smile.
In reality, audiences weren't laughing. What was supposed to be witty and urbane came across as mean-spirited and joyless. Critics described the tone as abrasive, and viewers tuned out almost immediately. Instead of biting social commentary, The Thorns felt like dinner with people you couldn't wait to escape. ABC gave it a shot, but only 8 episodes aired before the network quietly cut its losses. Unlike other flops that at least lingered in reruns or on home video, The Thorns vanished almost without a trace. Today, it's remembered only by die-hard TV collectors or those curious enough to dig through old uploads on YouTube. A relic of 1988 that proved not every sitcom family is worth inviting into your living room.
It was a bust, but their club's a smash.
Now, if I want to find you cheating, I just have to look in the books.
And if you want to find some fun, it's Nick and Hillary.
Tape Tattingers. Finally, at number 1, we come to Tattingers, arguably the strangest misfire of 1988. NBC poured serious money into this drama about a high-end Manhattan restaurant. The premise sounded sophisticated. Nick Tattinger, played by Stephen Collins, and his wife Hillary, played by Blythe Danner, running an upscale dining spot where fine wine, elegant guests, and dramatic conversations filled the screen. But audiences weren't hungry for it. The show debuted in October and landed near the bottom of the Nielsen ratings almost immediately. Viewers complained that the stories felt slow and lifeless, as if the drama had been cooked without any seasoning. By December, Tattingers was gasping for air. Then NBC made one of the strangest decisions in network history. Instead of canceling outright, they rebooted the show. Same characters, same restaurant, but now as a half-hour sitcom. Imagine ordering filet mignon and getting served a reheated TV dinner. Audiences were baffled. Should they laugh, cry, order the duck? Neither version lasted. Both the drama and the comedy were quickly canceled, leaving Tattingers as a bizarre cautionary tale of what happens when a network doesn't know what it wants. Today, it's remembered less as a TV show and more as a punchline, proof that even with the finest ingredients, you still need the right recipe.
When we split up, I always thought you'd be the one to get remarried.
Good luck, honey. If you have as many good years as we did.
Don't see any more.
And that wraps up 5 more of 1988's most unforgettable television flops. From a shaky Superboy to the confused identity crisis of Tattingers, these shows prove that no matter how much money, talent, or hype you pour into a project, success is never guaranteed. Some of them had potential, some were doomed from the start, and a few might have thrived in today's streaming world. But in 1988, they were dead on arrival. What's fascinating is how quickly they disappeared. No reruns, no cult followings, barely even a memory. Yet they remind us of how experimental and risky network TV really was in that chaotic year. If you enjoyed this trip through forgotten television history, make sure to hit like and subscribe to Time Capsule Media. And tell me in the comments, which of these flops do you actually remember and which one shocked you the most?